we go. What's up, everybody? Like I told y'all, we would be back again. Can y'all believe this is episode 6 of ONYXCON Fitness's Sports Talk, featuring yours truly, the founder, the president, the artist, Joseph R. Wheeler III of the ONYXCON Foundation, 501c3 nonprofit foundation. ONYXCON, which you need to support with your dollars, donations if you can, or just hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's the same to us. And watch some of this content as we welcome the man, the legend, the myth, the information in one place, one time, every time. Mr. Rise Up, my dude. What's up, fam?
It's all good, baby. How you holding, man?
Man, I'm great, bro. I'm peeping that hat, though, man. What's up with that flavor, man? You know, we know what that is. I don't know if everybody don't know what that is when they see that. We know about that old school Braves jersey.
Yeah, and I needed it to go with my...
Oh, you did? Oh, he went all the way. Oh, he went all the way.
Yeah,
he went all the way.
It's my World Series joint.
Man, now what's hanging off the medallions on the bead? I missed that part. I saw the... You got something on the beads, or is that...
Oh yeah, it's kyanite, man. Yep. So it's
okay.
It's
right.
Some sort of energized crystal. It is a gift. So
nice. Do you know the attributes, or you got to look it up right quick or whatever? I'll check it out later because I'm into a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Yep. I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool. A lot of our people be into the crystals and everything, so they'll be like, "Oh man, the brother old boy, he got his crystals," you know. But yo, so is that a snapback or a fitted?
Snapback. Yeah.
Oh. See, that'd be breaking my heart, man, because I'm telling you, I see a hat like that and I'll lose it. I'll be like, oh, snap, I want it. And I'll turn it around. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, because you gotta lift it up to feel it. Yep, you don't know.
I prefer fitteds. Like I said, I'll do a strap back. Okay, like you got a little leather or faux leather or even if it's Velcro, but real neat where you can't put the Velcro all the time. You know, I might do it, but I prefer a fitted. For me, it's that plastic. It just reminds me when I was a kid and getting that little print on your head. It was too
well, since you rock the baldy, bro, you know your hat is always gonna fit the same way. So depending on whether mine is long or short, I need to have a little flex in it.
I see you now. I see you. I mean, if I had like some long hair like I used to back in the day, and if I just wanted to floss it for the ladies, you know, wrap my hat to the back and had a hair falling out here and all that, you know, I would do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they'd be like, ooh. Yeah, my car, check them out, baby. But I ain't got that no more.
I was about to say, it all starts and ends with that. I know.
I had my fun, though. You know I had some hair. Lord,
Facts.
I had hair, y'all.
You still got some. It's just in different places.
Only the women know.
Speak on it. It's still PG-13.
He's doing that for the ladies, y'all, because he know he got y'all mind wondering. So, you know, if you're curious, go on and hit up the DMs. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, they remain open.
I'm like Dion. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hard to find.
No, you're not. And you coming? Go and hit that portal. I'm bringing my luggage with me, and it's Louis.
Talk about it, man. I swear this thing leaves itself so wide open for memes, innuendo, the whole nine. I swear it's just gonna be it. But that's the fun of it with Dion, man. His brother is such a personality, and he's pure. Like, ever since this thing started, I've been following like I've never followed anything like this. And it's blowing my mind by the day because you're talking about, he's not even giving people the usual timeline for waiting to see things process. As soon as he touched ground,
I'm coming.
You got recruiters, you got players, you got everybody saying, I want to be with the winner. How do I get in? He's like, I ain't hard to find. I mean, I watched one of his little quick. I'm gonna let you in, but I know you want to go all the way, and I want you to explain what the portal is, even to me, because I mean, you put me on. I was like, what's this portal? What are you talking about? Portal? I told y'all, as this show go, if you're new to this, I'm the casual fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm that dude who was hardcore back in the day, got my heart broke too many times, gave up on it from that perspective, got more into the game, behind the game. I care more to hear about the business deals and things of that nature. And occasionally there's a player that excites me, a team that excites me, somebody like DEION that gets me hype and makes me want to follow that energy. So I will rock it from that. And I always rock the jerseys and the logos and the mascots because that's my first love for even being attracted to it. But man, break down what the portal is and what all this is happening, man, because it's crazy.
So it's the transfer portal. It's an organized means for players to basically shop for a new school, essentially, and for schools and coaches to shop for players. You know, part of, you know, it's a very recent development in the NCAA along the lines of what they call NIL money, because you hear that a lot. You know, for
now, what's that stand for?
Name, image, and likeness fee. So essentially,
I remember when the players wanted that. That's cool because they
fought for it for decades. You know, Ed O'Bannon won a landmark case against the NCAA to basically grant them the right to be paid for their image, but the NCAA fought it, and it took again decades for them to actually realize it. So it was finally realized. I want to say it was the state of California that kind of set it in motion. They passed it there and were like, "Yo, we're going to pay our college athletes," and then from there it kind of fanned out because they're like, "Look, we can no longer fight this." But when you think about it, it makes sense because the athletes don't have to forfeit their quote unquote amateurism. In other words, versus having to leave prematurely to go for the pros if they're not ready, you know, due to hardship to make money. You can be paid. You know, you can receive sponsorship dollars. I mean, anything from a car dealership to apparel to, you know, potato chips to you name it, right? Whatever the alignment is between the sponsor and the athlete, you could make that. And again, the school was out of it, right? You get your you know, your tuition and so forth taken care of by your scholarship, but that NIL is a transaction between you and the sponsor, like many others.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome because it's prepping them for if they do get that NFL deal or whatever. You know, if you play basketball, NBA, you're already in a process of understanding how this thing is going to work. You know?
Well, and listen, even if you don't make the NFL, because just because you're great or even good on the college level doesn't mean you're going to go further in your given sport. So again, it allows them the chance to make some money off their image, which is already extremely valuable to the school, the conference, the NCAA, etc. And again, they've eased up on the transfer rules because they were very uneven before. If an athlete wanted to change schools, you had to sit out a year, which is a huge deterrent to doing it, because you can imagine you're young and in your prime, you want to go somewhere else, you're going to be ineligible for a year, so you sit, and then your incoming school, they have to wait a year to get your services. Now again, you enter your name in the transfer portal, it's more or less an immediate transaction. When I say immediate, like you could change schools within the same calendar year, and the following athletic year you would be eligible at your new school. So that's what's happening with DEION, with the players he's bringing from Jackson State to Colorado, Shador, Travis Hunter, and some others. And again, other players who are in a bad situation where they're playing can join those guys in Colorado, and DEION can have a ready-made team next year.
Man, I mean, it's literally, I'm seeing stuff about folks coming from Alabama, and we know the powerhouse they are, and other great teams, you know, teams that were already winning, basically losing some of their great folk because they like.
Well, the thing of it is, you think about an Alabama, a Georgia. Now, and they those schools haven't lost a whole lot of players, but they do have players enter the portal. They're stacked with 4- and 5-star athletes. So I'm saying there's a wait list, there's a hierarchy, there's a depth chart. You can be great and might not see the field. So whereas I'm a second or third string running back at Alabama, Colorado was just 1 in 10, so it stands to reason they don't have a whole lot of great players. So I can go there and be top of the depth chart and play. There you go. There you go.
And I think the same must be true with these coaches and, you know, the other coaches and all the.
It's always been true with them. That's why they have taken steps to make it more fair for athletes. Coaches could always leave and get a better deal somewhere else and be, you know, more money and be, you know, immediately relevant at the new school. So again, now athletes have that same, which again, we talked about producers and consumers. The athletes are the product, right?
Right.
You can't have the game without the athletes, without
That's right. Recognize the star. That's right. So man, talk. I've already spoken my piece, and if anybody wants to know what I thought about it, be sure to check back on what we said about We Support Coach Prime. Did a special feature on that, and I saluted Ricky Smiley and also my man. Oh my gosh,
Roland Martin.
Thank you. Don't let me forget names now. Roland S. Martin, the man, and both of them had some really great points about why people need to calm down and get off Deion's back and respect what this man built and what he's leaving a new coach to have and the team to have. And it's not like he's totally abandoning. He's trying to bridge gaps. He's trying to link connections of resources, and people just can't see it because they're so emotional. It's just all about, it's just stay over here, stay down. And it's ridiculous, man. Like, speak on it. Like I said, I already gave mine. If you want to see it, check it out.
Joe, it's real simple. Deion never had to go to Jackson State. He chose to. Okay. Right. His brand is international, it's global, right? He decided to take that equity and invest it in Jackson State. And again, he's making $300K, which is a pittance for a major college
and putting some of it back in the school.
Joe, he was putting half of it back.
This is what I'm saying.
Okay, and I'm saying just by his star power, the wattage that he brings, you're selling out the stadium, which is revenue, right? So I'm saying
the whole town.
Right. Jackson, Mississippi didn't have water.
Didn't even have a good water system. Yes.
Prime helps them get water. Helps the kids get. In other words, reaches out the stray hand, gets them some custom suits so everybody looks the same. I mean, the things that the major college schools already do. Right. So again, he gave you 3 good years and left you the blueprint. That's the point. Just for the fact of him being there, Eddie George goes to Tennessee State. Hugh Jackson ends up at Grambling. I'm saying they won't be the last. This is we're experiencing a renaissance for HBCUs. And again, you got to give Prime his dap. And you can't be mad at that man for bettering his own self. We each have to manage our own career, whatever our field is in. So again, he gets the job at Colorado. It's a bigger platform, much more money. I mean, it's more than 10x it's like 15 times the salary he was making. And again, with more resources, better practice facility, better training facilities, better nutrition, better apparel.
Have you seen that video where he did the tour of the facilities? Oh my gosh.
Again, listen, you had all that, but you didn't have a winner. So you bring in a winner to give yourself one. How can you be upset with that?
It's all to the good, man. I love every bit of it. I support Prime, and I support what it represents because like I said, y'all. I don't want to get too far from it because I'll be up here preaching again. But you'll see if you watch it from the beginning to the end, because most people don't. I check the stats on what y'all be watching. Y'all will watch like 3 minutes. And be like, that's good. He was upset. And then,
look at you with the Netflix metrics.
Yo, bro, they got this joint for you now. If you're a serious YouTuber, you have the app that goes with the app that gives you all the metrics to break down. It's the YouTube Studio. So when you look at that, it tells you exactly how long the average person is looking. So I know most people cutting off in 3 minutes. And if you're not watching to the end, you're missing the meat, because that's when I'm really giving you the heart about how this relates to my journey in building ONYXCON and how it relates to the feeling of what I know Prime is feeling on a whole nother level. When you're the head of something and you brought something to something. Like I know for a fact I did some of the same kind of things. I'm not going to, like I said, I ain't going to get off into that. It's like when you know what you did for your town and what wasn't here. Like literally, it was nothing like ONYXCON until I brought it. Period. And in the Southeast, we are it. In the Southeast, we run this mofo as far as that genre of what we do. So it's like, for people that I have that are sort of like petty with me and be, hey man, well, when the convention coming back? I'm like, when the money comes here, when Joseph is sitting on 6 figures, ain't got to worry about his life, and we can do some things with ONYXCON with a 6-figure budget.
Yeah, it ain't pro bono. People would love to take advantage of something for free, but how many people would be willing to provide their own services for free? Riddle me that, right? It's all comes down to economics, man.
And knowing it comes back to you. Like when you go, like a lot of people don't even understand what a nonprofit really is. Not to get, like I said, I don't go too far on this, but people don't even understand the NFL is a nonprofit. People don't even understand. You feel what I'm saying? People don't even understand San Diego Comic-Con. Some people know, but some people have no idea. It's a nonprofit. Can you imagine the kickbacks that people who put in and companies that put in get when, like, I've been out there twice, so I know when folk are sitting off the bay and getting off the yachts being walked in by security. I said yachts, getting walked in by security, you feel me, to go to the halls for, the big announcements of the movies and all this great stuff. But who gets the perks of being there to be behind the scenes and go to all the best parties and see and meet the people, not just, watch them on stage? That's what happens when you support something like this. And then they're building even a museum for Comic-Con right now. I don't know if it's finished. Yeah, they're building a museum for the history of it. See, that's the kind of stuff ONYXCON wants to do. But we ain't gonna go too far down that lane. Y'all ought to know by now. If you don't know, welcome to ONYXCON. Mm-hmm. Let's continue forward. Let's talk about briefly, because this one could get real heavy. Because I didn't know a lot about it, but the sister, the basketball player, the gold medalist basketball player, Brittney, that was released from Russia in exchange for this arms dealer and all this other stuff.
It was an unfortunate situation that Brittney was ever even put in. I mean, the amount of quote unquote cannabis oil that was in the canisters that she had amounted to residue, right? She was a good sized pawn in international diplomacy, right? Because Russia wanted Victor Bout for the U.S. had him for 12 years. Okay, he was captured in Thailand, extradited, and was imprisoned here. And so when they apprehended Brittney and held her, they had to play it out. You had to go through the trial. She had to quote admit her guilt. She was convicted. She was moved to a penal colony, which is hard labor. That's when you knew, they have to do a deal. And see again, Paul Whelan, the ex-Marine who's been held for 4 years in Russia was not willing to do a deal with him even for Victor Bout, because Biden was trying to do a 2-for-1. He was trying to get Whelan and Brittney for Victor, and they were like, no. So you did the deal that you could. You brought Brittney home, who was never involved in anything, right? And again, there's significant positive press behind securing her release, because there was a lot of momentum in getting her out. Now, it's interesting because you really start to see what's on people's minds, because
I swear
Brittney is an extremely tall basketball player. She's a black woman and she's a lesbian. So people have all kind of thoughts about that. Well, when she did the crime, she can do the time. That doesn't even amount to quote unquote criminal activity. So it's nuts. So again, to have her back is a positive, but obviously they have to press forward to get the other detainees released.
Craziness, man. So much, I swear. But like you said, it's part of a bigger. That's gonna be a movie one day. In our time, we may not see it. Maybe by we'll be old men. We're like, look at that. They made the movie. I told you to make the movie. See it because it's perfect for that. But anyway.
Well, and listen, she is still young. She can resume her career, but see, she can also be a pivotal figure, a Kaepernick type figure, based on what she is. Not a martyr, but an advocate. Based on what she's been through. She has a very unfortunate lived experience, but emphasis on lived, because she did live through it, right? And I'm saying she's somebody that stands for something, right? She, essentially an unassailable character and this sort of thing. And that's why you saw the entire WNBA, the NBA, all athletics behind, free BG. So they did. So now, again, this becomes something we can spin in the positive toward, again, securing the release of other people who are held, against their will. Right.
That's what's up. So on a more optimistic note, even though that is optimistic, for the fact she's free, did you hear about Money Mayweather wanting to buy an NBA team with a business partner of his for $2 billion on the table?
Well, yes, I saw it on the ticker, I believe, last night, and I got excited, because, hey, Floyd got that long dough, right? I mean, when you're doing things on that level, you acquire leverage. In other words, you don't put up your money, you go find someone else's money and be the face of it, right? I'm saying he's nicknamed Money for a reason to do prince it, okay? Now, I will say a couple things. We obviously need more black ownership, more minority ownership in all sports, right? I mean, the NBA is 80 whatever it is percent black. NFL 70%, and the percentage of ownership that's non-white is virtually nil, right? So,
same in college.
I mean,
I keep saying 65 to 70%. It don't matter whether it's PWI or HBCU. It's always.
So I'll say, here's the advantage to it being the NBA, because you've heard Diddy and Jay-Z and some other people raise over time the possibility of buying into an NFL team, right? And the bar is a little bit higher there. NBA, I think, is doable. I think the NBA is also more progressive. They have a commissioner, Adam Silver, who is openly pro-player.
Okay,
he's very inclusive and is about multiculturalism, right? They've been making the NBA a global game since the 80s. Okay, so I'm saying you need not just the players, but the coaching staff, the front office, training staff, ownership, to reflect both your core players and your fan base. Okay, so again, Floyd Mayweather is a wealthy black man with connections. Let's hope he can get it done.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I mean, when I heard about it, I said, boy, I tell you that Floyd, he's such a showman. He could be.
And see, that's the other thing. You would play that short, because they would love nothing more than to make a Floyd Mayweather out to be a garish. He and 50 Cent had a feud a while back, and they teased Floyd about being illiterate and these sorts of things. It's really a crying shame, because you don't do that to athletes of another hue. Okay, you don't do that. They may have their certain issues, but you don't attack their intelligence.
Whatever it may be. I can't even think of in my lifetime, for example. Well, maybe two. Caucasian players of any sport that were ever joked about for being illiterate or anything else like that. It's just, it doesn't even happen.
Well, and here's the difference, right? Whenever and listen, it's unfortunate across the board and shouldn't be done. That's no laughing matter, nothing to joke about. But I'm saying when it's done that way, it's a one-off. It's like, hey, here's this person. When it's somebody of color, it's all of them. And that's the unfair part about it, right? That's that sort of systemic thing that keeps entire groups of people back. So again, we need to overcome those perceptions. Whether it's Floyd or someone else, we need to do this to solidify ourselves within the ownership ranks. We got wealth and been had it.
Yeah.
We need to be intelligent about how we spend
it. I agree. And I would just hope that as he moves forward, because I see him evolving ever since I've been aware of Floyd. But I just hope that he gets to a point where he does less of the rapper style flossing, let me get my stacks of hundreds, go in the store and show you how I spend it. I mean,
hey, but in fairness, Joe, Conor McGregor's of the world, they do the same thing, and no one really complains about them. So I'm saying,
I know what you mean.
It's Floyd being his authentic self. He's like, yo, I'm young, I got dough, I'm gonna enjoy my money. 45.
Well, he ain't that young. He in our club.
Well, no, but I'm saying in the grand scheme, that's young. How old is Jerry Jones?
Hell, I don't know.
80.
Wow.
Okay, so on a relative basis, Floyd is a young man.
I feel you. So, and I'll tell my Floyd story real quick. We give you the inside here at ONYXCON, but I was on set with him once because it was a movie, and I wish I could remember the name of the movie right now. People who've seen it will know what I'm talking about, but it was when it was made for TV for BET. I think it was an exclusive, and it was directed by, and I believe she executive produced it too. Me and my names right now, but the sister who played in the Tyler Perry films Why Did I Get Married, who was the loudmouth, real crazy one, who was married to Michael Chai White's character.
Oh yeah, yep.
Do you know the name? If you can help me, I don't know. It's off the top of my head right now. I just can't even say it.
I'll find it.
Yeah, but she's a twin, and she's a total hoot in person. But I mean, she really is that loud of a voice, but not that silly as that character. But anyway, she was directing, and the scene required, it was like a flashback scene. It was a movie that Little Mama did, the rapper Little Mama. Yeah, and I think it was her acting debut. I mean, I know it was her leading lady debut.
Wow.
It's a really tragic story. It was like based on something real. Where this girl who was just, trying to live the fast life and make it with dating athletes and whatever rapper, or whoever she could get who had that quick street money or whatever, or was in that life like that with the street side of it, and got caught up with the wrong dude.
Tasha Smith. That's who you're thinking of.
That's my girl, Tasha Smith. So Floyd came to set, man, and when I tell you, he was every bit of what you expect. Came in with the massive entourage. Somebody had the bag, some leather bag. You wondering what's in it. And
money.
Right. And I never forget. I never forget during one of the takes where somebody had a stumble and he's doing lines with him. But he was on every take. Floyd knew his stuff. Now, mind you, he was playing himself in the movie.
The man's an entertainer. Come on.
Entertainer, but he was on point. He was on his stuff, right? And he turned around. And he was like, I know I'm here I need to work. The money man here to work. I know my lines. And I remember he looked dead at me, and I was just kind of grinning like, it's okay, champ. You got it. I hear you, bro. He was just like, you know what I'm saying? I said, all right.
You reacted the right way to that because Floyd is known to put a hurting on his sparring partner. So you did that right.
Hey, I'm a lot taller, but I don't want no part of that little Wolverine.
No, you don't. Neither do I. None of us do. Trust and believe.
It was all love. I was like, you got it, champ. You got it, man. I see you working, man. Because nobody else really giving him eye contact, and I've been there the whole time. It was so funny. And I think he liked the fact that I was looking at him like, you feel me? I was like, yeah, bro.
We here.
Cool dude. But anyway, yeah, man, I hope he gets it. That right there alone, to me, would be it'll make up for all the times when I think some of that flashiness was, in my opinion, unnecessary. I mean, I don't mind it. It's funny sometimes. I ain't gonna play. It's funny.
But listen, I will say one thing about Floyd. He ain't never flossed something that he don't have, right?
He don't have, right.
And in the grand scheme, whether he's successful in acquiring a team or having a stake in a team or not, he advances the conversation. So that's a positive.
It keeps it coming. It inspires the next person to keep trying until it happens. And most important to me is I just want to see folks get behind things like the XFL that The Rock is part of. Is he not the top owner in that?
He is the owner, yes.
I want to see folks support that. Like, can we please be owning? And, it's like, where else do you need to go? I don't understand. I do understand because it could be a lot of behind the scenes conversations that you don't, one wrong whatever, or the way somebody said something or sent something or didn't reply or whatever can end everything. But hopefully that's not what's happening because I want to see that grow.
The Rock knows it's an uphill battle. I think we talked about it before. It might have been a very, very first episode of Sports Talk. Off-season football, and what I mean is, the NFL plays in fall, winter. So when you're trying to do spring, summer football, historically, it's been a disaster. It is hard to oppose the NFL. Okay, but you think about what Rock did. There's a couple really intelligent, savvy things about this deal. Number one. This is actually the third iteration of the XFL. Vince McMahon had the first two. The first one was actually groundbreaking. It instituted a lot of things that the NFL actually adopted. They had a few standout players that made the NFL, including He Hate Me. I believe his name was Rod Smart. But anyway, the point is, so a lot of the camera angles, the overhead stuff, the XFL was all about innovating, right? Because again, if you are almost destined to fail anyway, you're going to take a big cut. You're not going to get up there and bunt. You're going to take a home run swing. Okay. Now, the second time when they were going to reincarnate the XFL, COVID hit. It was 2020. It was right when everything went into lockdown. So they had to shutter almost immediately. There were like 3 spring football leagues that each one, the XFL never actually kicked off again. There was another one that win a few games and then they ran out of money. Then there was yet another one more recently that actually finished an entire season, crowned a champion, and etc.
Man.
Now you're The Rock. You have an overall deal with probably every studio on earth, but NBC for sure, because you have the Young Rock and other things on that. And I'm pretty sure that this iteration of the XFL that he owns will be for NBC again. And what is it? Like we talked about before, it's content. It's original content. So if nothing else, you're buying that, and it's compelling because people love football. If you can, by God, if you can make it good, you're gonna be onto something, man.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. I love it. And with that, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we get back, we've got Mr. Rise Up's picks for Week 14 of the NFL. You do not want to miss this. This is what you tune in for every time. Please believe. We'll be right back.
They call it unforgettable. What about that bird? He's cool. He's black.
Yo, keep going. Yo, keep going.
Who says you have to clap with the white parts of your hand?
Yo, keep going.
Really bang it.
This is painful, dog.
I agree, it's very painful.
Who are all you creepy people with them crazy blue eyes?
We are called Caucasians.
Come on, 5, 6, 7, and then get it. And get it. And get it.
I love that. Nice one.
Oh my gosh, if y'all could hear the stuff we be talking about between breaks.
Facts on facts on facts.
Oh my gosh. So, fam, my favorite part of this when you do your thing, because when I tell you, man, I always check the stats and I be like, this is why my man is killing it in fantasy. You always in the 90 percentile. There gonna be a few of them here and there off, and even when they off, it's not far in whatever you know it. Whatever you say, bro, I be like, it is like the ones that like if you show a little bit of doubt, that'll be the one that it went the other way. And I tell that might be the one little toss up. But if you say, oh no, I know who's gonna get the W, y'all better believe it. This man knows what he's talking about.
Let's go with it.
He know what he's talking about. All right, week 14. We talking about already the Raiders and the Rams. The Rams right over with just a point, man. 17-16. They did the doggone thing. But everybody else is in the. What did you see that one?
I saw the end of it, and we talked about it the prior week. It was Raiders Chargers. Remember in Vegas.
Okay.
Raiders are not a good ball club. They're squandering leads.
Right
Listen, they can't close. They were up 16-3.
Damn.
You let Baker Mayfield, who signed with he was released by the Panthers and signed by the Rams less than 48 hours before the game, come back and beat you. Joe, at the end, he took them on a 98-yard touchdown drive. I'm saying it was as bad or worse than New Orleans lost to Tampa on Monday. They were up 16-3 and let Brady do the Brady thing. And listen, when you got them down, you got to step on the neck, man. You have to. Right. Got to. Come on.
Yeah, if you ain't learned by now. Okay, Vikings and Lions. What you think?
Vikings. So Detroit is much improved. They can score. They cannot stop the other team. And Minnesota has a potent offense. So expect fireworks.
Fireworks, y'all. My Ravens versus the Steelers.
Tough because it's unlikely that Lamar will play. Okay.
I heard he got hurt.
Yeah, it's sprained MCL. It's I think that could be one of those nagging injuries that that kind of bother him. So the speed with which he returns to the field is going to be directly proportional to the Ravens' playoff chances from here on out. Now, with that being said, this game is somewhat of a toss-up. Where is it? Is it in Pittsburgh?
Oh, I don't even know. I'm not even. What I'm looking at is just giving the list. What's up?
That's fine. So I had picked the Steelers to lose last week, and they snuck one out against the Falcons. Although, from what I understand, it was like a home game for the Steelers. There were so many Pittsburgh fans in Mercedes. So, yeah, this one is sort of a toss up. I'll give the edge to Pittsburgh, and a big part of that is Mike Tomlin's coaching. Like I had said before about I believe Bill Belichick, but Tomlin's the same way. You're talking about somebody that can make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I mean, the man can really I'm saying talent is 90-95%. The other 5-10% is coaching, is preparation right before the game. It's also making adjustments within the game. Very few people are as good at that as Mike T. So I'm gonna go Steelers, baby.
There it is. Browns and Bengals.
Oh, Bengals. So again, Deshaun is back. They got an ugly win against the Texans, but the Bengals pulled it. Well, I'll say a shocker. They beat the Chiefs again. Burrow's 3-0 against KC, so maybe I should have seen that coming, but they are clicking, right? They are getting back into the form they showed last year and getting all the way to the Super Bowl. Jamar Chase is back and throwing money on DBs, and that's a bad sign for the opposing squad, so Bengals.
There that is. Wow. Jets and Bills.
Bills.
I know you're going to say Bills. I was trying to,
Bills. So I'm saying I pick them just about every week. They're one of 3 9-win teams in the NFL, the Chiefs and the Cowboys being the other 2, right? But the Bills have been herky-jerky, right? Some weeks they show up and will win convincingly. Sometimes they win out in a squeaker, and sometimes they lose unexpectedly. Okay. Jets are no joke. Okay, I told you about the quarterback situation. Mike White has a connection with the rookie. Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State looking good. They lost their star rookie running back, though, Breece Hall, weeks and weeks ago, and that hurt them. I think with him, he brings you a dimension where you could beat a Buffalo if the variables are right, if the stars align. As it stands, Buffalo in this game.
Okay. Texans and Cowboys.
Again, you can
The battle for Texas.
You can book it. Whoever Houston is playing is gonna win. That's Houston is the Washington Generals of the NFL. It's a guaranteed dub for the other side. Dallas wins this, right? They have some uncertainty at running back, okay, and dealing with some injury issues. However, and they had entertained signing Odell Beckham, and maybe they still will. Teams don't know whether he's going to be ready for the season. I think they're almost writing him off. But that aside, Dallas is more or less clicking. Dak is back and healthy. That defense, you can put them out on the field against anybody, and they're going to give them a run. So, but this is a cakewalk. This is a massacre on Sunday.
My Eagles and the Giants. What's
That'll
up,
be
Philly?
that'll be a good one. So, again, the Giants and the Commanders, I had picked Washington, but they actually played to a tie, so I guess I wasn't wrong. But
that was crazy too. When I looked up that score, I was like, "What?"
Well, OT is shorter. A few seasons ago, they shortened overtime from 15 to 10 minutes to reduce the chances of players getting hurt in extra time. So again, you got to make hay, right? Because remember, you can't kick a field goal and win. At least of all on the first possession, you can go tit for tat, and then the next score would win. But in this game, I think you got to pick Philly until further notice. I guess I'm just saying the Giants are a lot more competitive and can give anybody a run, including Philly. And it's a rivalry game, and you never know what to expect in those. That's how Washington beat Philly. It's a divisional game. They got up for it. Philly was flat. They were feeling themselves on a Monday night. So again, this one I'll go Philly, but it ain't gonna be a cakewalk.
It ain't gonna be easy. That's what's up. Jaguars and Titans. I'm gonna say Jags just because the pull-off wins that I didn't expect this season, and and then like I always say, because I got fam down there and I just root for them from that perspective when I can. When they're not up against somebody else I like a little bit more, whatever.
Love it. Yep, love it. So I was just double checking. So games in Tennessee, which is the odds makers are expecting it to be basically a pick 'em. So one little tidbit about betting. The home team generally is going to get 3 points. So if you see the home team favored by 3, that's really a push because the 3 points are baked in. Okay, Tennessee in this game is favored by 3.5. So again, odds makers are giving them a slight edge, which I think is warranted against the Jaguars at home. So I'll go Tennessee. They're scrappy, right? Again, they lost to Philly last week. We had talked about that, but they gave them a game. Okay, with Vrabel, they're always well coached. They're going to be well prepared. You have Derrick Henry, and he could run roughshod at any moment. He's a locomotive off the tracks and still going. So I'll go with the Titans again at home.
How about it? Chiefs and Broncos.
Chiefs by 100. Chiefs by 100. So again, let's look at the betting line. It's KC -9. They're on the road. So take the 3 that the home team Denver would usually get added to the 9. They're really saying this team is more than 10 points better than Denver. Okay, which is warranted. Russell Wilson looks like he needs to be at, the old folks home right alongside Matt Ryan. He just is not getting it done this year.
Do you think he's just not gelling with the team? Like he really had something in Seattle, even when they didn't make it all the way?
I think he's shot. I think Seattle put him in positions to succeed that Denver has not, because you can't say Denver doesn't have weapons. They do. Now they've had some injuries, but you got Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Cortland Sutton catching the ball out wide. You got Noah Fant. You had Melvin Gordon. They had I believe his name is Javonte Williams. And in other words, those guys have gotten hurt. You have Latavius Murray. Denver almost always has a good O-line, and they have Nathaniel Hackett, who was Aaron Rodgers' offensive coordinator. You should be able to score points. The only reason the Ravens won last week is because the Broncos couldn't even put up 10 points. I'm pretty sure that final was 10-9. So again, Broncos can stop some people. They just can't score. And you're playing Mahomes and the Chiefs, who put up points in bunches. It's good night, Irene.
Well, before we move on, only because the Broncos jarred something in my memory of something else I saw casually perusing social media, and I saw DEION. It was right when he got the offer to Colorado. and there's some commentator or somebody who was joking with him. They're obviously friends. He was telling, "Hey man, you ought to go to."
We riding in Colorado, yeah.
We're gonna go see the Broncos game. He's like, "Who? I ain't going nowhere." So what's that about? Like, Deion got
it was a little bit of gamesmanship. The Colorado move was not official, and Deion was demurring. But what I loved about that moment, that is the same beat reporter for Jackson State who the internet had clowned and who Deion had run to his defense. Remember, we spoke about.
Yeah.
Their friends. Deion was teasing him about his language, his cadence, right? About speaking proper. He's like, "Hey man, talk to me." That's the guy.
Okay.
So he got Deion back. That's why Deion started busting out laughing. Like that was good. So I love it.
I didn't understand. I thought maybe it was something going all the way back to when
they always do that. I'm not going until I'm going. So no, that's just typical game.
I get it now. Okay. Panthers and
Seahawks. So playing well. I keep mentioning Geno Smith every week. He's being very effective. Got great weapons. Tyler Lockett. What's my man? Anyway, you got great weapons. The Panthers they struggle to score. They're trying to hold it together. DK Metcalf is who I'm trying to think of.
Hey, it's all good. You know, Panthers, every time we do this, fam, I just love that I'd be amazed that you know all these damn names because I don't know none of these people except I can people on one hand that I'm aware of these days. It's literally
like I told you, that's what happens when you're consuming this information over and over and over and over.
That's why you with the co-most
since age 8, Joe. I'm saying that's what those sorts of repetitions do.
I'll tell you, when we started doing this, I got a whole newfound level of respect for what I already knew about you. I knew you love sports, but I didn't know you are sports.
Hey, brother. Again, look, I may need to look at making some money in it because
you do. I mean, if y'all want to treat us right with ONYXCON, I can put the brother on for real and give a contribution. You know what I'm saying? When we hit, like I said, 6 figures for ONYXCON, 6 figures for Mr. Wheeler's salary, and then ONYXCON can pay Mr. Rise Up for his. But and it's not even paying because as a nonprofit, we're not really paying. You just give him a stipend.
So it's an honorarium.
An honorarium for all this brilliance, man. This brother drops the heat.
Right on. And listen, the same heat that Seattle gonna be dropping on the Panthers. So there's that.
Oh my gosh. Buccaneers and 49ers.
Don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
Except for 40. Don't nobody care about 40 water.
Yeah, that's it. Which, hey, real quick, did you see they dropped the new album? It's a super group. It's Snoop.
Oh, the West Coast. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mount Westmore. Westmore, yes.
Snoop, 40 Water. Short and cute. Yeah. I only heard about 3 tracks, but they slapped.
No, I saw the video where they were supposed to be like on some Star Wars, Star Trek stuff, and I was like, they wild.
Okay.
It was like budget on purpose. It wanted to look like a B movie. It was silly in that way, but it's fun.
Are they sending senior citizens into? No, I'm just kidding. Into outer space. Dude, you talking about we old?
Hey, they still holding it down.
Listen, look.
I wish I had a portion of E40's bag.
Old and counting old money.
Come on. Every time I turn around, that brother got a new product. Shout out to 40 Water, man.
Again, listen. See, you would see. The mainstream would play somebody like 40, sure, but it's sort of like we were saying with Mayweather. Yeah, the man has been on his grind for decades and stayed down and dirty, man, and intelligent. He's like the Jay-Z of the West Coast with his man. It's mutual respect.
Yeah, for real though, man. I mean, seriously,
all them boys, man. Snoop, man,
Cube legends, straight up legends.
Yep. And so, relative to that, Bucks go into the Bay and get a dub. So that's actually a homecoming for Tom Brady because he's from San Mateo or whatever it is out that area. But Jimmy G got hurt his knee or ankle or whatever, foot, whatever it was, and he's effectively going to be out until the playoffs if they make the playoffs. So they're starting Mr. Irrelevant, who is the last person picked in the NFL draft, and it's the quarterback. It's the third string quarterback for the Niners, Brock Purdy. So they don't have a snowball's chance in hell.
Now, is this somebody who's been out there before? Or is this his first time hitting the field?
Rookie.
Totally his first time.
Green is the grass they're gonna play on.
And you said that's 49ers with the rookie. I'll tell you what, man. Just because I love to see somebody shock folk, I hope he do some things. I really do. I love to hear that.
I hope he does too, because I could.
It's like my boy who wasn't a total rookie when I noticed him, but who's I think he's second string for Baltimore if he's still there for the Ravens. Who I think year before there was a time when my man got hurt. Aint was hurt, and he had to go out and play a few games, and he was killing it, and everybody was all in shock.
If it's Tyler Huntley, he's back, and he's going to be the one starting against Pittsburgh. So again, he's serviceable, but not really a starter caliber unless the guy in front of you gets hurt. So
again, I'm gonna show love for my underdog.
Yeah,
they do it.
Oh, listen, I could give a damn about Tampa, right? I mean, and speaking of rookies, the Falcons are Well, we haven't gotten to them, but the Falcons are on bye, so we're not gonna cover their pick. But the next time they take the field in New Orleans, they're starting Desmond Ridder, who's their third round rookie. Showed a lot of promise in the preseason. He was lights out for the Cincinnati Bearcats last year, and he projects to be more of our future than Mariota did. I thank Mariota for his service, but again, time to put him out the pasture. It's time for tomorrow. So,
got to keep going till we get it right, man. Got to get that formula right.
Well, but Joe, if we do, you have a quarterback on a rookie contract, so again, it opens up dollars to make the rest of the team better. Falcons already have something like $90 million in cap space next year, so I'm saying they're going to look very different come 2023. Very different. And if Ridder is even serviceable, I can only imagine who they're gonna bring in. I mean, I can only imagine. You can improve everywhere where we are subpar, right? Okay. You got a good O-line now, good running game. You actually have a pretty solid front seven. Improve the secondary. Improve your passing game. Whatever it is, right? You can go get. You can build depth. You can go get you can go get a Pro Bowl caliber pass rusher if one is available on the market, because you're going to have the salary cap dollars.
Well, briefly, I know we talked about this off camera, but I'll bring it up. I thought this as soon as I saw what was happening with Colorado in prime. And I thought, man, I wonder if Deion is going to eventually jump from college on into pro and just do NFL at the end of it all. And you said, no, he's talked about that before. And he said he don't want to do it because he just knows that environment, and the players just aren't going to listen to him as much. They make too much money, and they're just not going to hear him out when he tell them, I need you to do this, this, and this. It's like that's one of the hard things. That's one of the reasons it's so hard to win at that level, and it's one of the things that makes it so impressive what the Patriots did for so many years, or the Cowboys for so many years before them, or the Niners going back to the 80s and early 90s. Everything is a matter of incentive, right? So what's my incentive to listen to you when I make more than you, right? Like how do I equate that to you knowing more than me? So again, it's a culture. I talk a lot about what a shitty franchise the Washington football is, or the Washington football team is, or the Houston Texans. It starts at the top. It's culture. It's that environment that you build. Is it toxic, right? Or is it cosmic, right? There you go. Yeah, that's right.
Right. So if you have one where all levels are bought in, you got a strong owner who will spend money, one who's inclusive, right? A progressive front office, an innovative coaching staff, players who are hungry regardless of what they make, whether I'm a rookie or 10-time, and whether I'm Aaron Donald, right? Then you have something. But again, it's got to be intentional, and it's built brick by brick. It's not going to be overnight. But the Falcons have the makings of that. They just their missing piece is the players. Since they went to the Super Bowl and in the playoffs the year following, they have one of the worst rosters in the league. So now you have the money, you can build a roster back and hopefully put a winner on the field.
Who got me thinking it again, though, is like I saw it on Instagram, Greg Street, local DJ, if you don't know, if you're not from Atlanta, legend. They put out, yo, man, that's real cute, but Deion, you need to bring your behind.
He needs to Street needs to stay in his lane. He's a good DJ and a shitty football analyst. We don't need another coach. We have a good coach.
He just hyping. I knew it when he said it. He just saying what he know barbershops are saying. So he's like, I always call that barbershop.
But Joe, ain't no barbershop saying Deion needs to come to the Falcons. Our problem is not coaching; it's the players. Okay, and Deion is where he needs to be. Right? Yeah, impacting the lives of young men, like you and I talked about him.
That's right.
Do I want to work with an egotistical asshole cornerback who thinks he's as good as me, or a young one that I can mold and make as good as me?
Come on.
Because again, listen,
proud of him for being
for what Prime makes as the head coach of Colorado, he makes what some NFL coaches make. So it's there's no money disparity at his level.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's the thing I woke up to a long time ago. My dad taught me that. He said, man, college football makes more money than the NFL. And when I realized what that really is.
Well, certainly profitability wise, because you got free labor. That's simple math, man. A kindergartner can do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. So did we do? No, we ain't done yet. Dolphins and Chargers.
Miami. So again, not gonna be a walk, right? The game is in LA. I was about to say San Diego. The game is in LA, and the Chargers are competitive. The Dolphins are just a better football team. I've talked about Mike Macdonald a lot. Strong young coach, relates well to the players. Has Tua playing at a Pro Bowl level. In fact, the first release of the Pro Bowl votes, I want to say Tua was the highest vote getter. You got weapons. You got Waddle and the Cheetah. You got a strong running game. I mean, you have pieces on defense. The Dolphins will be in the playoffs, and once they get there, they could make some noise. And LA is going to be a dry run for that. So Dolphins.
Okay, I've been hearing it all year. I'm starting to believe Dolphins is it. They doing their thing. Patriots and Cardinals.
Don't nobody care. Nobody care.
Is this the?
Yeah, I don't know why they're all on Monday. I guess they know I need some rest, and I can.
They do that, don't they? They do that. I guess they figure let's make all our money over the weekend.
Well, again, the schedule makers, sometimes they hit and sometimes they whiff. And this Monday slate, woof, man, bruh. Well, the Sunday night game which is on NBC for some years has been actually the quote marquee game, or supposed to be, whereas it almost always in the past was Monday night, going back to the 80s when we first started watching football, because it would often be like an NFC East matchup. You get a lot of Giants, a lot of Cowboys, a lot of Niners. That was when the NFC won 13 straight Super Bowls and the AFC was kind of like an afterthought. Right now they can't really get that Monday night. Playing on Monday night is almost like a penalty, because when you think about it, you have a short week on the back end, right? You have one less day to actually, probably more like a day and a half less to prepare, because whereas the majority of the league is playing early on Sunday, you're playing late on Monday, and God forbid you got to travel back home, get up for meetings, get your treatment, go get back in the playbook, practice, walk through this, and it throws your whole body clock off.
That's a lot. That's a hell of a lot. Well, man, hey, we ain't gonna throw our body clocks off. It's about that time, and I appreciate you giving me. I know it's been over an hour, and I got plenty of stuff to edit as usual with this, but we always appreciate you, my brother.
Right on.
You bring the glory. This is the man. That's my day one. That's Mr. Rise Up, the legendary.
I'm coming.
And we coming. Much love, brother.
Salute,
fam.